guys, it's a beautiful day today, and I'm super excited to be driving a 2013 Maserati Granturismo. This car's powered by a 4.7 liter V8, makes about 440 horsepower, revs to about 7,500 RPMs, which is absolutely amazing. There aren't too many V8s that go to 8,000 RPMs. This Ferrari-derived engine is one of them, and it sounds absolutely amazing. It's part muscle car, part Italian V8, and it's just awesome. You know, this car just sounds awesome. Put the window down, see if you guys can hear this, but the downshifts sound amazing. Sounds great, right? I'm really surprised actually at how well the 6-speed transmission works. I mean, the Granturismo came out in, I think, 2008. So this transmission, the tech in this thing is, 12 or 13 years old. But man, it works really well. The shifts are pretty crisp, when you upshift in sport mode, it works really well. And the downshifts are pretty fast, actually. God, that thing sounds so good. The Granturismo really does have a timeless look. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a stunning, stunning car to look at. I think the design is timeless, and it's a great Grand Touring car. The rod is a little stiff, although not terrible. I did drive an S2000 for 6 years every day, so for me, stiff it's a relative term, but I think it's acceptable. And of course, that would depend on what kind of tires you put on it, but this one rides on the P0 Neros. But yeah, a little bit on the stiff side. As far as the ergonomics go, kind of typical Maserati, typical Italian, little teeny buttons, not sure what they do. Not terribly difficult to figure out, but not something I'm worried about. This really is a driver's car. And it does two things really well. It looks beautiful and it sounds beautiful, and of course it's got an 8-cylinder that revs to 7,500 RPMs, which sounds absolutely insane. As soon as you go past 5,000 RPMs, man, this thing really starts to sing. And even at low RPMs right now at idle, for instance, it kind of got that lope like a Mustang almost, or a Corvette or something. It's got that real bassy, low V8 sound. I don't want to rev it too high here in traffic, but but once it goes over a certain point on the tack, it really starts to sound exotic and high tech. 0 to 60 on this car, I think is about 4.5 seconds. It's not the fastest car in the world, but it's pretty quick. The handling is fairly neutral. I did get a chance to drive it around some turns and some curvy roads, and I enjoyed it. I had a great time in this car. It sticks very, very well for the street. Don't think a lot of people buying GTs are tracking them, so not a big deal. It's a good GT car. But man, the sound, I can't stop downshifting and giving it gas. I think if I daily drove one of these, I'd probably get like 4 miles a gallon because I can't keep my foot out of it. And then every time I slow down, I'm using the paddles to go all the way down to first gear. Just amazing sound. And there are baffles in the exhaust. I do have it in sport mode. I don't know why there's a quiet mode available, because I would never be in that mode. But if you do turn sport off, it does become fairly sedate, actually. Wow, it really quiets this thing down a lot. I don't like that. Let's go back to sport. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, really surprised how well this transmission works, Maserati isn't going to make the Granturismo in 2017. They're putting the axe to this car. Like I said, it has been around almost 10 years. And they're talking about replacing it with the Alfieri. I've seen some concept drawings of the Alfieri. I don't know if it's going to look anything like those drawings, or even if they're going to release it. But that'll certainly be some form of boosted engine. So if you want something normally aspirated, this is it, Just like the Quattroporte lost the 4.7 liter V8 and went to the twin turbo 3 liter. the Alfieri would probably get the twin turbo V8 from the Quattroporte is what I'm thinking, but who knows. But for the time being, getting a used Granturismo I think is an awesome value. These could be had, you know, for relatively little money, especially compared to how much they were new. These were well north of $100,000. This is actually a 2013. Actually, Johnson Maserati has it for sale. It's $59,000, got 47,000 miles. I think it's an awesome value. You know, I don't know what the MSRP was on this car, but I'm having a lot of fun in this car, man. Can you hear these downshifts? Ready? Can you hear that? It sounds so good. This is a smile inducer. You know, everything about this car just induces like a shit-eating grin, you know what I mean? Just looking at it and hearing it, you know, makes me smile. You know, it doesn't even need to handle well. I think that's just a plus, right? And it's pretty quick. It's not the fastest car in the world, but man, it goes, and especially at high RPMs, it sounds amazing. So if you're in the market for that $50,000, $60,000 supercar, you know, an SL maybe, Jaguar, an XK, Bentley maybe, they're a little bit more, but maybe you're shopping for a pre-owned Continental. I certainly think you got to stop by your local Maserati dealership and drive this Granturismo, because it's absolutely awesome, and it's a lot prettier than the cars I mentioned too. So if you are in that kind of, you know, $50,000 to $60,000 GT car, something you're going to take out on weekends, you might take it to the mountains, to the country club, whatever, a lot prettier than the ubiquitous SLs and Jaguars of the world. You know, you don't see a lot of these on the street. So they really do drop jaws too. I mean, this car is absolutely beautiful. One more time with this downshift. If you want this one, it's at Johnson Maserati in Cary, North Carolina. Give them a call. Oh, that sounds so good. One more time with the downshift. Ha! Peace.